What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Thursday. But it being Thursday, that means we're here for the top 13 matchups in this Eagles and Rams Week 3 matchup. Hope you're all having yourself a great day. Love to hear from you down below. Appreciate you all hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, hyping these videos up. Everything you do to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough. But getting excited. Eagles undefeated, Rams undefeated. Going to be a tough matchup. Two of the top NFC teams. And we talked about the Rams the other day. Got to know everything about them, what they've changed since the last time we saw them in the playoffs. All the things we needed to know. We're going to talk about everything as a whole right here. We're going to touch up on the Eagles and Rams. I'll go over them. You want to pause this stuff, take a closer look at it. We've broken all of it down. But just to give you a recap, you'll get to know the injury report for today, and then, of course, what the team looks like with their depth chart, practice squad, their coaches, the stats and standings so far this year, and then we'll lead us into the top matchups. But love to hear your thoughts on this. Any questions, any comments? Let's rock and roll. Jump right into this, and we're going to start it off with today's injury report. So we got some good news for the Eagles. We know Dallas Goedert was back at practice yesterday, so and he's still limited, but hey, just having him there is a great sign. And Jalen Carter, now full participant. So that's awesome. That shoulder injury that was bothering him, he didn't miss any game time, but never want to see that. Shipley limited today, so more great news. Byron Young, unfortunately, a forehead laceration, so he did not practice today. He was added to the list, but we'll see if anything changes tomorrow. Game status report comes out. We'll know who's out, who's questionable. I'll talk to you then about that. And then with the Rams, there are guys that were resting. We're back at practice today. Nothing else changed. So not good for them. Their left guard, Avila, and then their stud inside defensive lineman there, Braden Fisk. So game status report is tomorrow. I will keep you up to date with all of this injury information. And with all of that, you can now see, who their backups are, everything like that. Let's take a look at what both of these teams look like. We'll start it off with the injury list here for the Eagles. Lewis Cine was released off of the IR. So here is the updated list. Van Sumer and Wilson done for the season. Hinton designated to return. Nakobe Dean can come back after week 4, but we'll see when he's actually ready. So these guys you will not see on the depth chart. So here's the offense. Maybe Latu gets elevated to have a fullback again. Beyond that, everybody looking like they will be good here. We'll see if McKee limited. What's going on? Goddard, that'd be great. Oh, sorry, phone going off there. But yeah, I think definitely this offense needs to get things clicking, but we'll be all right there. And then the defense. I think this defense here, with Makuba, Campbell being added to the mix, and yeah, you've got new pieces. Adoree Jackson really up and down here, but a tough test here ahead. I'm excited about the D, though. And then the special teams department. We'll see if Shipley's ready to go. If not, Bigsby back there didn't get any opportunity. But we'll find out here Sunday. And then the practice squad for the Eagles. And as I mentioned, maybe Latu gets elevated. Marcus Epps, if he gets elevated, that would be his last time. Can only elevate people 3 times before they'd have to go to the active roster or not be elevated. So that is the Eagles team. Now on to the Rams. You can see their IR here. Thomas and Witherspoon just added there. We talked about that the other day. So you will not see these guys on their depth chart. But here is the offense. Devontae Adams added. Coleman Shelton there. So go check out Behind Enemy Lines. You want to learn all about this Rams team. We broke everything down, talked about what they changed, who they lost, all that great stuff. On the defensive side of the ball, all their young pieces. They play a lot of 3-3-5, play a lot of dime. So use 3 corners. They use 3 safety sets, a lot there. And, one linebacker a lot of time, Nate Landman in there, a true inside linebacker. But even then, they use a safety and Jalen McCullough as their dime linebacker. So a lot going on. Chris Shula, I like this defense, but we're going to talk about what these guys look like here shortly. And then in the special teams department, you can see Xavier Smith, Jordan Whittington, got Cardi, Evans, and Ward there as their specialists. And here is their practice squad. So the guys that they can elevate here on Sunday. Dylan McMahon, former Eagle draft pick last season, but yeah, those are the guys. They didn't elevate anyone last week. Lost the guy they elevated week 1, so no doubt. But let's take a look now at this team here when it comes to how they've done so far this season. And Leading us off here with the Eagles, Nick Sirianni, got Kevin Patullo. A lot of people think he should be Hall of Fame offensive coordinator here in his after 2 games. I think I'm going to be patient, see how it goes here. But you got Vic Fangio at D coordinator, Michael Clay at special teams coordinator. I think one of the best coaching staffs in the league. And yeah, I know they're not perfect in week 2, but let's hope by week 3, they've progressed a little bit. For me, just like last year when I told everyone we were going to win the Super Bowl and they were saying the season was over, let's pump the brakes here, right? I know the stats will tell you, oh, my God, they're 16th in points here, and oh, my God, 29th in yards. I don't care. I just want to win. We're 2-0. We're not turning the ball over. Let's go. Let's get more turnovers. Let's not give up sacks. Let's get more sacks. This will look much different here in a couple of weeks. So take it all with a grain of salt because, remember, we're 2-0. And that's what truly counts. Let's win this division. Let's get in the playoffs, and let's go win ourselves another Super Bowl. So we are 2-0. We are at the top of the division. Let's effing go. Now, on to the Rams here. Sean McVay, and they've got Mike LaFleur there at offensive coordinator. Chris Shula, D coordinator. Chase Blackburn. And we know this team, and, man, they've gotten, some nice pieces, lost some pieces. But I think, when you've got a mind like Sean McVay versus Vic Fangio, it's going to be fun. It was a great game in the playoffs there, but you can see they've been doing pretty damn good here on offense. Their defense is kicking ass here. So middle of the pack when it comes to running, but Matthew Stafford doing his damn thing, not turning the ball over too much, middle of the pack there. So, that has them undefeated as well, 2-0. But in their division, they got 3 teams that are undefeated. So, again, we're only in week 3, so a long way to go. Let's pump the brakes on anybody giving up hope here. So 2 teams, 2-0, top of their conference, and I think that this could be a playoff matchup as well again this year. And, best of luck to them. But on Sunday, you're coming to see the Eagles, the best team in the NFL. And, yeah, we got some things to work on, but so does every team going into week 3. So let's get into these top matchups. Love to hear your thoughts, who your favorite top matchup is. Maybe you disagree with something, but the way we do it here is we talk about special teams, offense, defense. I mix them up sometimes how I want to talk about them, but that way we're not jumping around talking about, different matchups. It's just a way to talk about the game. So let's talk about that game. And starting us off is that special teams. And I would love to see Tank Bigsby back there returning a kick. Now, they kicked it to John Mechie every time the Chiefs did. So we'll see in this game. But we got Jordan Whittington there over on the Rams side. Got to watch out for him. I got Xavier Smith as their punt returner. They've got decent specialists. So in the special teams game, step up. I would love to see Bigsby break one for a touchdown. Let's go. Now let's start it off with the Eagles defense here. Going into number 12. So Nolan Smith, we got Hunt, we got Uche. Zadarius Smith was lights out in his debut last week. But Alaric Jackson, Rob Havenstein, they're decent tackles. And, it's going to be a fun matchup. But for me, I think that this team, you see not giving up too many sacks. This Eagles team not getting too many sacks. Let's get that going. Let's get Matthew Stafford. I know he gets the ball out quick, but let's put his ass in the dirt. Nolan Smith's been looking good. Hunt keeps developing. Uche's been looking great. Again, as I said, Zadarius looked awesome in his debut, so I cannot wait to see this one. And then the way you make things easier is let's destroy in the middle. And I think Carter, Davis, Ajomo, Young, all these guys, that is quite an interior D-line. Going up against some studs in Avila. Shelton was added this year, so a little different in the center there. But beyond that, Avila is still a monster, and I think Carter, that is going to be quite a matchup here, heavyweights. And I'd like to see these young men getting some big plays like they did in the playoffs. Let's go, Jalen Carter, destroy and conquer. Up next, I've got our safeties going up against their tight ends. And, obviously, the way I do this, you can go up against running backs and receivers and all that. It's just, you get it. So Makuba, Brown, Blankenship, Brown being that third safety. They've used all their tight ends because Parkinson's been banged up. We'll see if he's ready to go for this game. If not, rookie Ferguson will be that third tight end. But Tyler Higbee, Davis Allen, some pretty good tight ends. And we're going to have to do some work on them because we've got other great defensive players, hopefully shutting down the other position. So don't get beat by the tight ends. But Kuba's been looking fantastic. Player of the game last week. So keep it up. Another rookie, Jihad Campbell, paired up with Zach Bond there to shut down Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, and heavyweight battle there. Kyron Williams, jack of all trades. Corum's been looking good. But we've got Bond and Campbell. So let's put them in the dirt, shut these running backs down, take away their run game, make them one-dimensional, that'd be great. But they've got some great receivers. So if you do, you got to watch out for Cooper. Cooper Kupp has been let go of. So now they brought in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington there, and Nacua, man, what a great run he had last week, like a 45-yard touchdown run. Dude runs just with that violence, and that's great. We have a violent nickel corner here in Cooper DeJean, and you've got yourself Mitchell, Jackson, Bennett, and hopefully Bennett, doesn't need to take over for Adore, but if, he goes back down, that's what I expect to see. So, but going against these receivers, my apologies over here dying, but these receivers are really good. So this is going to be really fun to watch here. And I'm looking forward to Coop having to take on some of these guys. Adams really a nice rapport there with Matthew Stafford. So, Stafford, we know what he did last year. We know what he can do at any time. And the dude is already like almost 250 yards per game this year. And only have a few touchdowns, one interception there. But this defense coming into their own with some of these young pieces, cornerback 2 will be attacked, and I expect it. So let's step it up. Let's whoop some ass here. Let's put Stafford in the dirt. Now moving on to the Eagles' offense here. Let's get Dallas Goedert back because this offense is really crappy without him. Granson Calcaterra don't block too well. And talked about Latu being elevated. I'd elevate him again, even if Goddard's here. Have him playing fullback. Have him helping as a blocking tight end. Got some good safeties here. We talked about using all 3. Cam Curl, Quentin Lake, Cameron Kitchens there. They've got some good safeties. So going to be fun to watch, anybody who goes up against the tight ends or their safeties or whatever it is. But for matchup purposes, that's why I do this. So let's get Goddard going, or any of these tight ends, whoever the hell is playing. But at corner, they've got Forbes, Durant, and Williams. Keller Witherspoon placed on IR. A.J. Brown has made Forbes cry in the past when he played for the Commanders. Let's do some work. This is the game where we need to get the receivers going. If they're putting up points, the defense struggles, we got to get the pass game going. Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, somebody, John Mechie, I don't give a damn. Let's get this passing attack going up against this team that, again, defense has been lights out, pass rush, everybody has been really good, but the secondary is definitely beatable. So let's do that this Sunday, and we can do that by protecting our quarterback and, getting the run game going. And we'll start in the trenches here. Fisk, if he misses this game, that is a huge, huge loss. Braden Fisk is a stud, but you've got Kobe Turner, Puna, Ford there, Tyler Davis, Murchison's there, but Dickerson, Steen, Juergens, step it up, dude. I don't give a damn who it is. That is the best offensive line in the game is the Philadelphia Eagles. So no excuses. Let's protect her. So these guys are monsters, though, and they will create pressure, dude. So do not let them get things going for these edge guys because, oh, my God. Byron Young, Jared Verse, Josiah Stewart, they have quite a rotation. These young guys going up against the best 2 tackles in the league, the Twin Towers, Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. This is going to be a heavyweight battle. I cannot effing wait to see it. These guys are getting 4 sacks per game. The Rams, we got to protect Jalen. You throw the ball away when necessary. If you're going to break it open, okay. But let's be careful here. We have already seen it ourselves. They've been doing great so far this year. And, we can make things easier by running the damn ball. And talked about Nate Landman. He's been having a great he ended the game and then had a great play that changed the game last week in week 1. I was saying he ended the game. But a great addition for them. Did really well for the Falcons last year. I thought one of the more slept-on free agents. But he's been showing out for them, dude. And he'll get his opportunity with Saquon Barkley. And you got Spates there. McCullough sometimes playing that dime linebacker. But stopping this run game was something they were unable to do last season. And Saquon Barkley ran all over them. So it'll make things much easier if we can do that. But just because you've done it before doesn't mean it's automatically happening. They're going to key on that. The pass game has struggled. So they'll hone in more on that run game. Let's get this passing attack going. Jalen Hurts is in your hands. We need you when it is time to throw the ball to do that. When it's time to run, change the play to a run, or you run it yourself, whatever the hell needs to happen. You are the leader of this team. QB1, we believe in you. Let's effing go. My apologies, still sick as hell. But that's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Those were the top matchups, all the information you needed to know here tonight. But if you have any questions, any comments, I would love to hear from you down below. I will be back tomorrow with that game status report. Hopefully be live Friday or Saturday. Got a busy weekend. We'll see. But I'll be at the game on Sunday. Hope to see you there. Reach out if you're going. Would love to meet up with some of you, meet some of you. It'd be fantastic. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this bad boy, subscribe down below, hype this video up. All the support is truly appreciated. I love you all. Hope you're having a great week. Reach out if you need me. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!